This is Cabinet of Curiosities with Rebecca Navarro, a space where we collect
curious stories about art.
What would you preserve in a Cabinet of Curiosities?
Did Remedios Varo predict her own death in the painting Still Life Reviving of 1963? This is Varo's last painting before her sudden passing at age 54. Still Life Reviving is a game of words. In Spanish, Still Life translates literally to Death Nature, Naturaleza, muerta. So the title really means Death Nature Reviving. In the painting, we witness a juxtaposition between cosmic forces and Gothic architecture. We observe a set table, and its long tablecloth begins to gain momentum under the rotational force of a candlestick that holds a single, as if in a small representation of the solar system, like celestial bodies orbiting around the candle sun. At the same time, two pomegranates are collapsing as a symbol of the rupture of the routine, as 8 plates on top of the mantelpiece move by the synergy of the fruit system on top. Varo is representing regeneration, implying that the movement of the fruits that compose a still life is a sort of resurrection. This fact is extremely interesting and considered a premonition of her sudden death by many, including scholar Janet Kaplan, who had written many books about Varo. I quote Kaplan, "Varo's Still Life Reviving seems a prophetic form of preparation for the passage into death. By adapting the tradition of still life to her more cosmic purpose, she created an image that fulfilled the philosophical and spiritual principles so central to her thinking. Neither somber nor finite, it is an image that celebrates the cyclical forces of nature, the evolutionary spiral, and the continuity of eternal return." In Varo's paintings, there are usually human or human-like hybrid figures. This particular painting has no evident forms like those, but more attention needs to be paid. 4 dragonflies, or mosquito-like small beings, hover above. Varo can be identified with these dragonflies as in 1961 she painted another self-portrait representing herself as a hybrid winged dragonfly woman. In Still Life Reviving, though, a dragonfly heads towards a window passage on the back of the painting, an archway opening, a crossing into a different place. Either mosquito or dragonfly, the reference to the cycle of life and death is present. Carl Jung's theories of rebirth as a product of transformation and transcendence can be considered, as Varo was an avid reader of Jung. Life is continuity. It renews itself, and it is cyclical, like the archetypes in our psyche, and our desire to prevail. According to Jung, the human race shares compatible joys and fears. We experience and embrace the positive and the negative, the challenges of the natural process of life with our conscious and unconscious particularities. In our core, we are the same, and with those common core similarities, we each go through our passages of development in the hope for immortality. Remedios Varo passed away suddenly from a heart attack on October 8th of 1963. Whether or not she predicted her own death, she worked hard to understand the secrets and mysteries of the universe, and her life and art are testaments to her path towards illumination and transcendence. This is why we can put Still Nature Reviving in our very own Cabinet of Curiosities of Arte Inclusivo. What other work of art or story would you put in our cabinet? I would love to hear from you in our social media or email address, which I leave in the episode notes. Until next time.
This was Cabinet of Curiosities, a space where we
Discover, preserve, and collect
many curious stories about art.